Oh, my microphone was off. Sorry, folks. Yeah, damn, no one was hearing what I was talking. Sorry, folks. I was explaining all this, but I need to deliver the trash right now. So it will take just 2 minutes. I'll be back in a moment. Hold on, folks. Just 30 seconds now. Alright, folks, sorry about that. Let's go back. So basically I was explaining here, yes, what I have here in this recovering this value here. It's important that I know this, and making a little more, because the eyebrows, they on top of it, they are just above, a little above the surface. The ghost muzzle, the face is just a bit behind, and I want the eyebrow, they solidify in the end, but I want them to be pushed away just a little more, so that's why this extra 2 here in the next decimal case. And here now we want to, I don't need this real face to, no, not simplify, I have this shortcut here, Shift Control Alt H. So go back to textured. I just wanted to use it to compare, right, the two meshes. So now I know that I need the shrink wrap of the muzzle. Let's make it, so generate now deform shrink wrap, and so let's bring it, it could be right here, right, it could be the first one, or in order of importance, usually not importance, but usually I get this, the lower face than the upper face, so why not? So here the inverse sonic mouth rig, I think we can use for the muzzle region, outside or outside surface. Outside surface actually would be safer. Then here we target the face ghost, and of course something weird happened. We need a target, and I don't think this target is correct. I'm gonna have to verify that. And also we're gonna use this. We don't want to see that. Okay, so we have a lot of trouble here. Yeah, this we need to, if I not gonna close this in the ghost mesh, like I'll have to smooth out this, and this could be risky, so this might not be a great idea in the end. But it's because these sharp edges, differently from the universal sonic setup, it is different, right? Maybe I could try to close this in a smoother. Why not? Never tried. Like, let's try doing this, then it's a quad. Yeah, that's a quad. Okay. Okay, and if I do this, it will become 2 triangles. Though I can subdivide it. Yeah. What's the benefit of it? I don't. It just reminds me that the inverse sonic melt rig has got the muzzle. It's something like that, right? Alright, but the mesh will not actually surf on top of this, right? I don't want that to happen, but maybe that could happen accidentally. We'll see, we'll see. Okay, let's turn this off. Okay, unhide here. Well, this seems to be working, but we need to check, we need to assess the target here, which is this one. Let's copy this. Let's go on wave paint mode now for the face. And let's see what we got for that. There is no shift control X actually. What is the see, there's no waves for this. So the vertex group here is target. It is empty, right? There's no waves there, but it does exist. We just have to find it. So mod shrink wrap muzzle there. Okay. No, it does exist. Okay, it's just lagging a lot. Let's take off simplify here. And you see that the mesh is very, yeah, the mesh is, there's no smoothness in those waves, right? So I'm gonna save here. Let's go on edit mode for the mesh here. Let's get the lower face region to work on that. Let's hide the hair, the costume, the eyes even. Yeah, we work with simplify stuff. That is better. Then we go back on wave paint mode. Then let's look back to the muzzle, shrink wrap this one, and I want here to get my stylus from the Wacom table, and let's smooth out this. So this smoothness here doesn't need to be perfect. It's just maybe I should take off these vertices from snapping, right? Yeah, so maybe I should start this snapping from here. We'll see. So you have some freedom here. It's not, doesn't need to be very super precise, right? The shrink wrap has some versatility, but there are certain parts that we really want precision. But for example, for the eyelids, when they shrink wrap into the eyes, I want total precision here for it. Here I don't want these waves. We can also, yeah. Let's see if there's any other. No? Okay. Let's go back. All right, then here below and under the behind the face, right? Behind the under the chin, would that be under the chin? This region here, under the jaws, right? So we don't need these waves here for the I'm trying to taking this off. We can leave just a little here, but I think this region doesn't, it's controlled by the jaw. It's not a region where we really need the mouth to go, right? So it's not relevant here, right? We don't really need to have this this thing here, I guess. It doesn't make too much sense. Here we can have yeah, the reason why we would like to have some small waves here is that because the mouth bones, the lips bones, they will deform this mesh, and we want that mesh to be surfing. Yeah, so it's about the range also that the waves of the mouth, they will push or pull, usually push the mesh. So we want to have some shrink wrapping to have some responsiveness in for this push mesh that occurs while we pose the, but this could be an exaggeration, of course. Here I'm afraid about what I've done for the we can try this, right? Very low waves shouldn't be very impactful. Here we could make this intermediate values here. I think this is feasible. Let's blur this as well. Here I think it's too much, so maybe the jaw will be the jaw line, which is clear here, will be the last stance there for this. And so here we really, I'm gonna take off these waves here. So that would mean that yeah, the jawline will still have some amount of shrink wrapping, but very slightly. Let's save. Maybe here you see this extra, we can smooth this out, and here, why not, let's smooth this out and do something like that. Yeah, and as I start to smooth here, start to push this layer, this wave paint layering lower. And then of course the most important part, the most complicated part is the lips, because the lips cannot themselves be shrink wrapped to the, wait, am I doing this right? I'm a bit unused to already to the setup. I don't remember, so yes, I think this is it. So the lips, they need to be free, so we can pull them up, right, forward or even backward, but in principle forward the mouth. This can be very cool, right, to make some Simpsons expression if you want. It's good to have the lips being able to be pulled, and so it's not just the lips, it's the lips and even some part of this mesh, so we can layer out this in some way. So let's do this. We can do this layering here. It doesn't need to be all red, provide that there is some meaning to this. And in this case I know because I've already tested this and this works. But this is I'm wave painting the target vertex group for the shrink wrap muzzle. So this should work. And so I've excluded, here I don't have a mouth bag or mouth interior mesh. I've decided that in this rig I'll try to do this in some other shading way. I think it will be possible because I will be using EV alongside with Workbench, but essentially starting off by EV, so you can have some sort of I don't know, ambient occlusions or something that will create shadow, really shadowed region inside. Alright, so what do we have here? Now also I've recovered my here. So very important, I didn't have locked that, or in the, yeah, so what happened is that in the latest file, this one is the one I want to generate it. Here we go, my bone layers. It creates in the bone manager tab of the bone manager add-on, whatever, but it is, yeah, I pinned it here. And what happened to the bone manager though? Oh, I need to, okay, the bone manager, we need to have the armature, but not this panel. This panel is different. For some reason, this panel, differently from the bone manager. Oh yeah, because this is about the add-on. I've seen that in some explanation of add-on making or custom panel making. There is a conditional thing that we can do for the class. So here I'm creating a class that will go into this bone manager tab. Here it already exists. So, and then I'm calling this my bone layers, the label of the panel. So this creates this class. Then in the end, at the end it's being registered and registered, blah blah. But there is no conditional here. I think it will somewhere like here in between the class and the definition of the function that will draw the panel settings UI. We could something about class method, I think, that will, maybe not, but something about the class that, well, if, maybe it's not if, but it's just some conditional system that I'm not familiar with, that it's pretty simple actually, but I don't know by heart. I just know what it is about. And then we can, if the object active element in the selection is the armature object, then don't draw. If it is, then draw. So something like that. And so because this, it's not an add-on yet, but I can turn this into an add-on. It's easy. We just need to add another set of stuff here. Never done this before, but I have the reference from tutorials. So also this is not complete, but here I have a iKey switch, so it's custom property. Instead of having this on a switcher bone, I have it in the panel, which doesn't depend, right, as this. So if I were to edit the, so I just the guy that made the bone manager, he should make an option to allow the panel to draw, even to be drawn, the class to show up, right, even when the Maybe it does exist. Let's see. No, not control comma. Never check. Maybe some add-ons have something here. So bone manager. Let's see. It's not in the extension, right? It's in the bone manager. Let's see. Add constraint pop-up. No, these are key maps. I don't even know this scheme. Oh no, yeah, this is the clear all constraints, call menu, shift control C. What is this? Let's check. Okay, but it's not here, so there's no option for this apparently. Let's clear this out. Let's get shift control C. I don't know what it does. Yeah, I get no idea what it does. Hope that it didn't destroy my file, but let's go here on the okay, so I have the my bone layers here, and this is all things that I need to, yeah, so here we can start completing this. Yeah, and so we've used fake user, so, and I've saved this as a file. So this is what I did with this file before. This almost cost me all this setup that I had to refine, but no, now I have this saved at a version 3. Besides the fact it was fake user. If it wasn't fake user, I think it was by default. If it wasn't, I would have lost it on my backup files totally, because I only had a previous version saved, which was much simpler than this one. Yeah, just a little headache to remember what I've done, and especially for the custom property. I really don't like the custom property making off, let's say like that. It's too bizarre, too unintuitive, but it's better for working for the result. So I think it's good to know, it's good to push the buttons there, to insist. And in this rig, so I'm substituting them, the bone switchers, to that cleans up the rig. It's much more elegant in my opinion. So okay, let's go here and continue doing the universal sonic melt. Let's see what we have here. Is that yes, okay, so too many things to handle here. Let's see, facial waves. Okay, so those lips bones, they are not positioned. We need to fix that, and we're gonna bring the, still using this because the rest is work in progress. This stuff here is work in progress. It's the latest thing to work on. I want the lips here, and I don't want anything else. So this will be very straightforward. Snap to face, include non-edited, and just gonna snap this onto the lips corner. They will maintain their orientations. They'll be snapping, but they won't change their, this won't change their won't change their won't change their orientation, just their position, location, right? This, they are kept sticking together. And for these ones, yeah, so here I hate that. So item, transform, So I need to snap, but then for some reason as soon as I snap it to here, well, it maybe they improved this in Blender, in this version of Blender. Yeah, this is lip. Also, I'm gonna change these horrible names. T doesn't tell much. It's hard to read. So I'm gonna place it there, and you see that the values are messed up, right? So 0 and 0, and I think that's it. So for these bones, let's see their names. What we do about them, it's very simple. Control F2B for bones, find replace. So instead of T, I'm gonna top, and instead of B, we're gonna bot. Yeah, I think this is readable enough. Def 1 because it's for the head. Whatever is deforming bones in the head is 1. So it goes for the vertex group. It gets better job in my opinion for organization. Now these bones are positioned. Assuming that I'll keep this face, this state of the rest position of the lips, of the mouth, right? Which is for the inverse sonic mouth rig, it's usually adequate, but looks like there's something here that could be made a little better. Just for the sake of regularity, I'm not sure. It's not so simple. No snapping here. Yeah, it just looks a little distorted, and I think we can, even though this will displace a little the perfect alignments that I had before, I think this will be more advantageous here. So getting these as straight. Yeah, let's see now. Okay, we see that it seems to improve the, here you can do GG. So you can see an improvement in the regularity of this mesh. The reason why this mesh can be flat like this is because I'm gonna use my own technique, which I call the anatomic lips shape key, an anatomical shape key, in which I will shape the lips, the volume, the anatomy of the lips but not through armature deform, through shape keys. So that means that the skinning algorithm, the skinning method, will be deforming the lips based on this regular mesh geometry. But the apparent shapes will be that of the shape key morph. But I'm not gonna do it now because we need to fix other stuff, and that works, and that is an implementation on top of the universal sonic mouth. It doesn't have in the original, but we can do it. The universal sonic mouth setup, there is already shape keys, but not for this peculiar feature. But we could, this is a special use of shape key. It's a constant shape key that will be set, and that shape key doesn't exist on the dummy model. It doesn't have lips anyways. It's just for the real face. So it will be here. We would create some anatomic shape key. So it bypasses the skinning algorithm. So it will preserve, it will make good volume shapes, whichever the, well, good, if the shape keys are not too exaggerated on the shapes, then whichever pose that we make here from the universal sonic mouth setup, that would already give a good anatomic volume for the lips. That's why my research was to find how to make the subdivisions and how many subdivisions to make and where to place them in order to get the good lips. And for some reason I'm afraid here I made a mistake and I don't have enough geometry. I might need just another subdivision, edge ring, right? But I can check this on a previous model, which would be, yeah, I can check it on a previous model that maybe she's not here. Tuka, yeah, maybe she's not here. I might have to reappend, but this is for, I can do this later. Or I can just open the file. Yeah, let's open the file and see. So I've saved. Let's open. Well, I don't see her. Maybe she's here. Okay, let's try this one. So here we can see the anatomic lips that I'm talking about, because it is shape key already. It's here, it's on 1, and there we go. So this is the real mesh geometry, but this is with the anatomic lips, so they will keep like that. And let's see how many subdivisions I had here. Well, turns out that oh yes, there is a subdivision. Yeah, there is still one here. Okay, there is one subdivision there, and then for the oh, hold on, I've made a different approach here. Yes, because this is really painful. Yes, I was trying a different mesh topology here, because this helped to to solve some problems. I was quite satisfied with that, but you see that the corner there, 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 4. Okay, and 5. So I could try to replicate that on my... Alright, so how to... I have to have two Blender opens, or just bring this character there again. Whatever. So I was about to miss this thing. You see that here the topology is different. I cannot confirm really, right, what is better, but I saw that I had good results on that aspect. But we're gonna do the targeting here first. I'm gonna try to fix some of the... Where is the object modifiers? We don't need the environment, so you need... Yeah, soon we'll need the melt interior to work with. We don't need the face ghost. We need the body. We need the shrink wrap. Yeah, okay, it's disabled. Shrink wrap muzzle, and we're going to outside surface. Okay, this seems to be accurate. The shrink wrap target and the shrink wrap. So there we go. Probably I need to reset here. Let's enable. So let's see if there's any change. Yeah, subtle change, nothing grave, nothing problematic apparently. And so here this mesh is... Yeah, we have some strange artifacts happening there. This is because of the waves of the lips, right? They expand too much. So the mesh is shrink wrapping, but weirdly, right? I think something... Need a lot of revisions here. I've closed that, but you see that this is causing problems. So yeah, so too much strong waves on the... I have some helper bones for the lips. This is a setup that I've made to substitute some shape keys, and it works. It does... The only main problem I couldn't find a solution was for the... You see, we can get very good results for the shape of the lips. We just have tons of problems with the so I think it's a vertex wave painting issues. So we're gonna try to solve it from wave painting the lips first of all, and also these shapes here. Let's reposition these meshes here. I'm gonna... Yeah, I've got some mesh distorted, unfortunately. This is very bad. We'll have to readdress this later, but that's make part of the process. At least my process, right? not desirable, but sometimes it is it is important to make some let's see, things that go back in time, let's say like that. And some shapes here are really looking weird. Yeah, of course, the character design, what I'm doing. This is a chin, right? Let's change here to, what is the crease 08 right here, right? So we need to we need to, the chin is pointy, so we need to add 0.5 to it, so now it's 0.8. yeah, this is more likely, but now something here, it's not working. Yeah, there's some bulging there. It could be because of, we need to reproduce the, you see it's the ghost muzzle, it's not working well. We need to refresh the muzzle ghost, I guess. Yeah, there's the problems there of this of the shrink wrapping artifacts happen also to the nose. This is why I've made it different. It's because of the outside surface also, right? If we have just the outside, then what happens that we could push the mesh out, and this is not very good, right? For it's very easy to break the rig, right? So we need to, the problem is that on the edge there, where then it starts to create some issues, right? So let's try to, yeah, what about, yeah, no, this is not good. So what about reducing this? Does it, it's shrinked, right? So it's not good. So another thing is that I could reduce the subdivisions of that, but doesn't seem to help anyhow. Let's see, for, yeah, it doesn't even solve this thing, the problem there, right? All right, so I'm gonna address here the waves. I'm gonna could also try to change this target vertex groups, but no. Okay, I have already this selection. Let's take advantage of that. Starting condition for re-wave painting of these lips. So changing bone, and here we gonna use some, yeah, simplify. Yeah, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be more radical here. I'm gonna take off this and these waves and consider that an exaggeration, right? So I'm gonna it's not smoothing very well. Oh, I can reinforce No, the smooth has only strength, doesn't have waves, so I need to use this instead. Okay, so I think this can work, and now I reblur. Okay, but now it's the opposite problem. Now I'm lacking influence over, and even not having and I have the opposite problem, which is terrible. So I need some stronger waves here. But I don't know what's happening there. I think my target okay, let's continue. Let's do the bones there, and then maybe it's just a bad interaction because we're still fixing, right? So yeah, this is the shrink wrapping problem, most likely. So okay, let's tackle that at once. So let's get the, need to be on wave paint mode, but we're gonna shift Control X. Let's get again to the shrink wrap muzzle, and let's try to improve this. Let's see what happens if we, okay, it's locked. Doesn't seem to fix the problem. Yeah, this doesn't. Let's wave this. This is, yeah, so it's the mesh there that apparently, maybe there is the problem that I don't have deformed bones here competing with the waves, and that is causing, so this is confusing now because this is a serious problem in the wave painting, right? Is the normalized, right, waves. This is not the true waves that this thing has. It might have stronger waves there applied to these vertices. It's very hard because, and confusing because we don't see the real color, right? I might be missing something. Like, is that in this rig, yeah, there's the upper cheek, the chin, the jaw, the cheekbone, but there's no bone here for the middle, right, of the mouth. So it's like this had full strings here. Yeah, like let me show the facial bones that I have here. So these are crucial. So I have this one. Yeah, you see it has some waves to compete. So maybe I should expand here. This is dangerous because this is a bendy bone, right? It could create lots of artifacts if I oh yes. Okay, so this is a shrink wrapping thing, certainly, yeah. So I need, it's the mesh of the shrink wrap that is, I need to retake it, right? This can't be like that. So this is always a problem of the character design, more now than before. I had all sorts of different challenges regarding that. Let's pick this. Yeah, so we're gonna, as we refresh the mesh, unless I'm missing something else, but let's see, let's do that. Yeah, let's also give some waves here, whatever. And looks like I've messed up this, seriously messed up this, some waves here with this shrink wrap vertex group, right? I want to be sure that this face is, let's hide this just the eyelashes. Yeah, there are some weird waves here and there. Okay, so for the shrink wrap vertex group, target vertex group, I just want up here. Alright, let's do that. And no, not here. And we're gonna refresh this the face, right? It's simple. Yeah, let's redo this blurring here, although I don't think this is the cause, right, of the mistakes, because I've done, yeah, I remember that it worked before, it was beneficial. Let's make some highlight here, so it'll be probably interesting for such a challenging problem. Let's get here. Alright folks, so here the universal sonic mouth setup on this character design. So this is the shrink wrap muzzle vertex group target, or target vertex group for the shrink wrap modifier, the traditional, let's say traditional one for the universal sonic mouth. So it targets, in my rig it's a bit more complicated because I'm using a face ghost instead of a muzzle ghost. That means it is stacking functionalities, because there is the eyebrow rig and there is the mouth rig. So I could use two face ghost, two ghost targets, dummy models, right? But I know that this works, although it can be more or less complicated depending on the case. So this one, but okay, so you see it has eye holes. It doesn't have a mouth hole, it was closed, and here I'm still considering what I should do for the nose, because and also the cheekbone, because in my character design these are very pointy, and this can cause a lot of trouble for the subdivision and the shrink wrap modifiers. So it's a mess. So the sharp edges can be very complicated, but here what I'm doing, right, so the lips bone, the bones, they are already doing their job. If we get the take off the simplify, now you have the subdivision surface modifiers working. So you see you can do a lot of posing, and the lips are already shrink wrapped, but there are some things that are not accurate enough, especially here. I think the something is happening, that the mesh, I thought it was the waves, so maybe I just need to refresh the face ghost muzzle, the whole face ghost. So this refreshment is fundamental if we are exploring features here, and fortunately I have already a preset selection of vertex group, a managerial vertex group, which is this SEP, exclamation SEP. So when we sort by name, this goes to the top, and here we got the let's select, and you see this selection. So this preset is what I want for the, you see that I've excluded the nose, but the nose bridge or the tip of the nose mesh, let's try to re-include them. And also in this case, I seen that I had some issues with this mesh here, so I'm gonna take off this, and for the, I'm thinking about the face. Yeah, you know what, I'm gonna take this off and take this off. So we end up with this. And yeah, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna invert and remove and select all. So now I end up with that. Okay, didn't work so well. I think I just forgot to assign alright. Oh, here also, and probably here we also want that, and these little faces here, assign. Yeah, so this is my new separator, so it will inherit mesh data, and this is the tricky part. It will inherit shape keys, even unwanted shape keys, so this is a problem. I have to delete a lot of them. Puff chicks, these are all, they don't exist here, they are just named, but puff chicks, yes, this one, it's good for the ghost meshes, but all the rest, in my experience, I think they are useless. So we can delete everything from the And the vertex groups, we need to delete the ones that are related to the deformed lips bones. And so we're gonna do the process here, right, after the selection, right? I can lock this selection already, so Shift D, ask, there's it is duplicated, P, separate selection. So now this is the 001 is the, let's go on object mode. We're gonna join this into the ghost. So you see I hold Control, and then this is the active one in this multi-selection of objects. And here just Control J, but no, right before this, let's make sure, let's see what is here. I'm gonna get this ghost face mesh. You see it's shown viewport display as wire. I have a shortcut for that. So we're gonna keep it wire, so we're not gonna delete the object, we're gonna just reuse the object, but we're gonna make some things here. We're gonna delete, batch delete all. We're gonna also go on edit mode here and hide all, select all, numpad \, you'll see what's happening here. Just delete all these vertices. So the object is nothing now, numpad \, again, not \, just slash. And then we are gonna check shape keys, there's nothing. Materials, there's we can delete this, and there might be other mesh data, but this is usually what works for me. Then now we do the process here of joining, and this will refresh. You see that immediately the object disappeared, and now we have this one with a new mesh. And what's going on here? I'm not sure, but we're gonna check here. So we got inherited a lot of materials. We don't want any materials, so select, remove new slots, remove everything here actually. And we got some shape keys. We can delete everything. I think you need to be on edit mode. Make sure we are in the correct object, right? I can delete those things. So okay, let's do like this then. Now it appears delete all. Okay, too late. So make always sure in the right one. So it can have all these useless vertex groups from other parts of the body. It's just too annoying to be. Just make sure that it doesn't have modifiers, object modifiers with, right. It didn't because these were overlapped, right, when I joined. So in this way, no object modifiers came from this one, the duplicate, right, to here. So this is correct. We don't need material for the ghost mesh. It looks like that. We need to close. So see, the tip of the nose can pose some trouble. We need to close here, and this is annoying, especially because of some things in how Blender. Okay, this was easy. We're gonna Shift E 0.3, so this is the edge crease, right? These are 0.3, and this is fine. I don't need that. Maybe. So here we can do something like here. This is, I think this will be fine, just to have some more smoothness here. Or could I make more face loops? It's like, yeah, like it's too complicated. Let's just do this. That would work because the subdivision surface modifier will handle it. So let's just do this and Shift E, let's see that. So here's the face. So here we can smooth these faces out, bring them just to create some see the curvature is not very good overall, but it wasn't already from the duplicated mesh, right? So the original mesh, sorry. So I try not to touch too much stuff here, but in principle, you just want a smoother curvature. You see here, this vertex was not very, it's just a detail. Subdivision surface modifier will take care of that. You see that we have 2 levels here. Could be more, but 1 usually is not good for the control rig. If we have any bone shrink wrapping with shrink wrap bone constraint to this, this is not sufficient. Usually with this these faces aren't enough, but this could lag a lot depending. So on the computer depends. So this is a lot, but for ghost meshes that tends to be good, especially when there is some control rig dependent on shrink wrapping. If it's just the mesh that is shrink wrap with shrink wrap modifier, then this is safer to use. But I'm gonna use bones also that will shrink wrap, so I think I'll need that. Alright, so let's go back, and now we have just refreshed this, and I'm having some artifacts here. I'm still not sure what is this, and you see that there is happening there too. So the reason why the lips can go inwards is that because I have a different okay, let's get here. So you have outside surface, all right. So in principle the mesh is shrink wrapped, but there are some things that, yeah, so now it's about the waves, right, of the lips. There are just 2 strong waves from the lips on this region, and maybe this is not wave paint yet, or not wave painted adequately, so you need to take off. Let's get some lower face region, edit mode. Let's select this. Let's go back on wave paint mode, and so you see these are facial bones, so they will compete actually with the concurrents, right? They will compete with the lips bones, and yeah, you see here this is something weird happened to the waves there, so I had to address what was that, but okay, so you see, as I wave paint this will require immediate refreshment. So this is, let's go back here, but not the lips. Actually, there would be some dependency cycle going on, because the ghost mesh can't have these warnings are drivers that were messed up. No, doesn't seem to have dependency cycle, so unsure now what's going on, but alright folks, this highlight is, it's too complicated, not clean enough, so I can't use that. Unfortunately, I'll have to do something better in the future. But certainly I presented some stages that are relevant. Alright, so I know that the waves are too strong there. It could be that I need to improve the shrink wrapping alongside all these, yeah, because even this mesh here needs to be shrink wrapped. It needs to snap with more strength. Isn't this? Yeah, it is crossing. I don't remember this setup, so this is easy to fix. It's project. I don't remember having this, but maybe it's there by default. Okay, let's save here. So you see, although I have refreshed, it's just not sufficient, right? To and I don't know what's happening here. It's some artifacts regarding the shrink wrap. Yeah, something very weird is happening there. Let's turn off the oh, I know what's happening, of course. Yeah, sure. I've just forgot to negative shrink flatten 0.002. And okay, we have a pause here, so we're gonna reset that. So that was what was happening, right? Now it's back to normal because the shrink wrap modifier was already set with this value here. It was expected to be hovering on top of ghost muzzle, ghost face, right? That is shrinked, that is smaller, lower scale, smaller scale. And so this is just for me to remember the original. It's a good place maybe to remember, because this value we can change, but in relation to the original, it's not registered. It will be actually negative, right? And as for this, in the case of the eyebrow, I could also give the same information, because it's never bad to have information, provided it's not in the way of something, right? It's never a bad idea to have good information, good documentation about stuff, right? Alright, so here we got that, and let's assess the deforms now. Okay, so you see that let's see how the nose deforms, nose tip, right? Yeah, so I'm concerned about the structure of the muzzle, and I don't remember how I solved this. Why I'm having this kind of issues here. Outside surface, okay, it should be shrink wrapped. It is going after the armature modifier, so it should sort of override it. Oh, yes, of course. I cannot, of course. So what's going on is, naturally, we still got the lips here. They can't be here. We need to delete this. I have no idea how this is not causing dependency cycle. It should. But okay, now these bones don't deform the muzzle. They just deform the lips, which should slide on top of the muzzle. This is sort of happening, but we got some terrible distortions, right? and like in here, let's check here. Yeah, so it's something about this mesh here that is just not working right. Here it's fine. Yeah, no, not so fine, but it's better than before, right? So we need to fix those waves, right? Too stronger waves here, and expand the shrink wrap, right? Need to be on wave pane mode, and take off the take off the subdivision, shrink wrap muzzle. Then here, let's see what will happen in the case if I wave pane this. What will happen? So this means that I'm telling the mesh of the face, snap to this pointy nose, and apparently this I need to refresh, right, these waves. Another way to refresh will be to retransfer waves, right? But that could be dangerous because the meshes are not exactly in the position. They have a different scale now, so all sorts of doubt. So I prefer to refresh, and I would like to make this refreshment automated by it should be simple, right? I need a mesh selection. I think I can do that. I can do this. I can attempt this right now. Let's see. That'll be a bit time consuming, but if I find the solution, that would be very good. Very good, very good feature. Okay, but before that, let's continue here and see if there's anything else. Okay, I was doing this, right? So I'm gonna bring back here and just reinforce this waves here, and here I don't know why. Let's just get this maximized, or maybe not maximized. Let's give it 0.9 and that's it. So a beginning of a smoothing of this. And here see that there's a terrible mistakes there. Gonna take off this stuff. Still not good. Yeah, I think we can fix that. Yes, fixed. Here it looks weird, but it's normal. Okay, it's just like that. And let's, oops, not that, Shift X, let's steal the waves and just re-wave paint this. Yeah, here we need to try and fix whatever is that part. Yeah, this is tragic. Let's see. This is the chin, the jaw line. Yes, something weird about the jawline. Tries to snap. Like, okay, of course. But I have this. So why it is doing this? Outside surface. No, this is not good. So I cannot, the jawline can't have these strong waves. Exactly. So we need to, How come I never knew that? So we're gonna reduce this. There are many ways to do the rig, but certain things are seriously problematic. Alright, so I'm gonna take this off. Let's see what happens here. Okay, a little better, but this is a huge deformity, so we can't have this thing, right? So 0.1. So there will be a, I would prefer this not to snap at all, right? But alright, let's check now. Okay, so that can work, but then I need to retake, let's use this value here, and I'm not sure that this will be enough, but it's will already be a beginning. Safety, let's snap there too. Yeah, let's go all the way up here, and you're just gonna smooth here, whatever. So it's very close to the eye. And this is the jawline, yes. Hold Control to erase. Okay, let's see. Alright, this seems to be more precise now, but now we can expand these waves of here. This seems to be working better now, yes. This shall deform the ghost muzzle. That's why it looks like to have a double deform or something weird, but I don't think this will appear too much. It will be a problem in animation. Okay, so here go back about the deform of the the wave paint, right? So get here, yes, we got this already. I'm gonna wave paint, back to wave painting, nightmare. We don't need the eyes. Alright, so expanding the waves of the upper lip here, that is too much, of course. I don't know, this mesh is behaving really weird. And in the inversonic mouth setup, there is a bone, the mouth positioning bone. There's a bone that is holding waves all around the mouth. I never found a use for that, and the documentation from Kamal doesn't seem to explain it very well. I don't think it's fundamental, but it could in this case, in this particular case, it could provide some sort of structure for the this mesh, because if I check here, I have some head waves here, but it's likely, yeah, this doesn't count, they are not deformed bones waves, so you just have the top lip, the, for in this vertex you have the deformed head, it's barely nothing here, lip top, lip, yeah, and that's all, there's nothing else, so we don't have a structure except, and then it's shrink wraps. So this is two strong waves in the corner, in the center there, for the, and this can pose serious troubles for the waves. And so what I could try to do, because of this problem, is that my previous rig was different, because I was using I've converted the inverse sonic mouth setup to shrink wrap bone constraints instead of shrink wrap modifiers. It is possible, and in that case I had a lot of bones surrounding the mouth regions, but way before that I had other rigs approach on the inverse sonic mouth setup, which I was just like shrink wrap modifiers. So I never had this problem, like as serious as I'm having now. So I'm gonna duplicate this bone here, and let's make this into actually it will just be a stupid bone. I'm just gonna call it def mouth surroundings, whatever. And this bone, whatever it is parented to, it doesn't really matter. So right now it doesn't matter, so I will wave paint this bone to, so let's give it a special color. Something that will be more visible, this, whatever. So this, we're gonna give this bone some waves, strong waves, not too strong, but adequate waves all around these face loops here. So let's do it the correct way. This bone in the universal sonic mouth setup, I'm not sure if it has anything to do with the lips, so I'm trying to, I think it doesn't, maybe it goes to the, maybe it goes. So we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna smooth, and we're gonna smooth, and we're gonna smooth, and we're gonna smooth, and we can do this better. Let's augment this iteration, but actually we're gonna contract. Now this is bad, let's reduce the factor. You see what I want to do, right? So it's nothing. Okay, so turns out the automator here is not helping too much. So I'm gonna just Yeah, there is one edge ring there. I want to select this edge ring. There. Maybe a little more. There we go. So these waves, maybe they would serve this purpose, and now you see that apparently I can have a better structure for the armature deform around the mouth. Yeah, so maybe that is the purpose of that. I wonder why I had never suffered. Really, I have no idea how I didn't spot this before. It makes sense, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Like the shrink wrap modifier is not enough apparently to structure that mesh. So you see what this caused, right? So this should move alongside the mouth, right? So we need to, we'll have to allocate it, constrain it, bone constrain it properly, right? And here the waves are not working. We need to reestablish them. We could try to refresh the mesh. Let's make the cool thing here, right? The driver that will try to, oops, not wanting this. Let's try to make the driver thing. No, not driver thing. Let's make the, try to create this operator. So it will be like, add a new one. So I'm gonna call it separator. Yeah, like universal sonic mouth setup automator. Yeah, ghost. Yeah, actually ghost mesh automator. Okay, so BP import BPY, then there is a mesh to select. Okay, so so this is, I need something here. Okay, let's get Shift F1. No, this is not Shift F1. This is actually just info. So how do I enable this object here? So okay, there is a edit mode here. Something weird is happening. Ah, this is about my other not this one. Not this one, so not here. So what is this about? It's the something about the entire file, maybe. Properties data bone. Something about my blend file, maybe version. It doesn't matter, but it's annoying. So BPY toggle. Okay, we got copy paste. So we got this operator here, but we need to select this object. So how do you get the, it's context, BPY context object select dot, no, tab, no, control tab, control dot, no, how is that, dot and tab. Okay, let's see, let's go again. So dot tab bpy object edit toggle. No, this is not what I expected. Yeah, no, this is not the thing. So maybe it's just need to check here. Many weeks I'm not doing this. Okay, tab works here, but it's not working there, right? So bpy context object in mode, objects in mode, no, object or actually it's just select, right? I'll have to check my whole list. Selected active active object active object trace back to random. All right. Zero Dorothy body. Okay, got it. So this is the what I want. So you're gonna get bpy blender python context active object equal 0 Dorothy body. I prefer here to use double quotes, and toggle edit motor. From here I enter the object, the mesh object, and okay, so there's a mistake. Read only. Oh yeah, wrong structure. Cannot assign to function call here. Maybe you need, maybe it is this that is no, so exactly no, object is not callable, so line 3. Okay, so this thing is causing okay, so let's try then this. Okay, now this works. So basically, or does it work? Select the armature. Okay, we select the no, we are in edit mode, but we are on edit mode of the armature. We toggled, but okay, so maybe I can exclude this. So just gonna get here and run that. Okay, so toggle here. Then let's use a how do you set active? Maybe ChatGPT could help with that, but I have a vertex group, I just need to have the proper name. I need to know the proper name, and this is what will make this thing a bit more. So I need this selection, right? So how do copy full data path? No, can't have this. Why this doesn't bring the it doesn't update, right? So this is bad. I don't know how to access this BPOI ops operation object vertex group cell. Okay, we got it. So copy, yeah, control C then maybe. There we go. So we got this, and now we call sep. Will that be the way to? I think not, but we'll try. Separator face. Okay, let's calling BPI as a rest, so I expected a string and I'm invoke a verb and we have more problems on the line call the rest call the name by just line 7. Yeah, so let's run again. Okay, so there's a mistake here. Okay, so no, we can't do this. Let's. So if it is the active vertex group, then yes, if we run. No, let's get here. There we go. So it's select. I just don't know how to. Okay, I see. Select. If I do here, what happens? Bad, right? But if I do here, there we go, then separate, it's working, but there are some flaws, right? So must have the separator face active vertex group must manually set active vertex group as sep, yeah, this one. Then cannot use yet yeah, must manually select active mesh object, which is whatever this. Then This will be the easy part. So P, separate selection. Aha, so here we got well, okay, let's do it again. Run. It runs a lot of crazy stuff. Run script, okay, then unfortunately we're having these errors. Okay, let's do this again. Okay, so apparently this is preventing me to do anything serious here. So BPI ops operator mesh separate type selected. All right, this is in preset. Separate selected mesh. Into new mesh object. Alright, so let's see. Yes, we got it. So it's already it's not. I need to toggle the selection again. I don't remember how to do this. Oh, and I must toggle out of edit mode as well. Okay, let's do it again. Edit mode toggle. Delete this. No, what am what the hell? Oh, I forgot to duplicate. This is bad, very bad. Okay, so select, then let's not enable this one yet. Okay, get, do it again. Okay, then here we duplicate, which is duplicate shift D subdivider. There's no duplicate face. Duplicate shift D, control C, mesh duplicate mesh, mesh OT, it's operator, no it's not, I don't know, duplicate mode, transform OT value orient type, wow. Okay, does it really need all that? Okay, maybe it needs duplicate. Let's see what it, if that, and then we separate by the selection. Okay, let's then we toggle actually toggle to edit mode, toggle to object mode. Then if I get this now, I delete. This is correct. Let's run again. We are back to object. Now I need to swap the selection. So there's a list of selections, so it should be simple, but I just don't know how to by heart. And this info not helping here. It might be an operator, right? It's just a selection. How to click to select on something. Select, oh, there we go. Okay, let's delete that. Let's run again. And let's yeah, but what is the target? This is an operator, so this means that we can probably pick this. We'll see. No, error, so operator failed context is incorrect. Doesn't recognize context. Yeah, so same problem having to identify. Type select active. Just set active. I might have this somewhere in my documentation. Yeah, let's get into the let me show it. Yeah, you'll be able to see what I'm doing here. Active element set active. We'll set active bone to bone DPI context object. Oh, data. No, but data it's inside, so I was doing wrong. Oh, there is the thing. Okay, so I need to do this for objects. So let's try to find something like BPY context object Isn't there something like equal? No, nothing like that. Data. Edit bones, no. I want this is data edit bones, no, no, no. The object data the active data mesh maybe. Okay, just take off data and see what we have here. Yeah, it's the same but with, yeah, I'm convinced it should be that. So identify all objects in the current scene. Okay, BPI context objects, BPI type object material types. No, it's not types. And then we are back to those things. Okay, so I think we can figure out something here. Basically, if I can try from here, right? So BPI context selected objects. So I have two. So I can get this thing, why not, right? Just and I need to toggle, or actually so BPI active object, well, can just active object equal, then here is where I need this one, but not sure that, so I need BPY, I need this one, yeah, this whole thing here. And so oops, got lost. Yeah, BPI context active object equal zero Dorothy body 0.001 and that, and then again, and there we go. Seems that little mistake here. Syntax unmatched, double. Ah, okay, I've doubled this. Not found. How couldn't you find? Maybe just a stupid mistake. Let's do this again. In selected bones. I remember something like that. But this will be more straightforward, so is that from let's see what we can get from this thing. Oh, 0 and 1. Okay, 1. That. It calls that. Okay, so okay, so 0 and 1. This is the list, so equals BPY maybe I can do that, yeah. Active object 1 not or equals 1. So probably this won't work. Let's see. From invalid syntax, probably it's in, but I don't think this is. Also need to revise my okay, there's this other thing, so let's see what happens if I by data object, precisely that. So how to set, can that set? It's not an operator, but let's try. No, it just it's not. So BPY ops select object, yeah, so not select all, select by type, no, select yeah, I was looking for active, but no. No, so it's not something like that, but maybe it would be also not. So we are very close. I think it is the BPI context. Let's see the. Are you looking at this? Can you? Yeah, you can. Okay, so there's in BPY. For okay, it's like this. For objects, maybe that works, or meshes. Object select me. Okay, so for object in BPY context selected objects, bone select active object. Yeah, it's context, right? So equal 1. Not sure that this will work. First, whatever. Let's see. I'll have to isolate this so it will be easier. Okay, any error there? Well, okay, objects. BPI context selected objects. We got this too. Yes, so I just need to change this equal 1 equal no. That sounds stupid, though it doesn't seem to make any sense. No, so in this state there are two objects. I just need to toggle. ChatGPT could, but that will take time to need to adjust the. I don't know how to use it yet, so Yeah, or just check here in the okay Python script blender how to toggle active object in the selection. Maybe there's some googling thing here. Yeah, therefore there's a whole function for this, but no, I just want some basic stuff. I don't need that. Rescale objects, print scale, PPI struct over mesh primitive, PPI value constraint axis, first sphere blah blah, first sphere name, second sphere. It's giving the second sphere a leave alone string. Yeah, I need to plant the BPY data object. Oh, yeah. Maybe that's the thing. Okay. If this, then object scale. Yeah, so let's try this. Paste get object that is 0 Dorothy body 001. Well, that didn't actually change the selection. Something happened, but no, it's just an illusion. So, oh, maybe it gets. Maybe it is getting it internally. And so let's try to manipulate it, right? And so toggle edit mode. Yeah, the simplest thing here. And so if that is true, then I'll enter in edit mode for that. And no, I'm in edit mode for the whole body. So no, this is not, it's not working. So anyways, folks, we got some automation here, which is not bad. Actually, this saves some time. And we can spread it into another one, right? So just by clicking here, I can get this. And yeah, so I'm struggling with the very basic stuff, right? Making the selections automated, active element in the selection. But I'll find out next time I dive into that. This is already a good start because I can share this in the end, the script for the, yeah, I'll probably have to change the names, right, there are some prescriptions that need to be, yeah, like start by selecting the object or change the names of the objects, right, so that you can adapt, because otherwise how Blender would know, right? So but after everything should be working fine. So that is good stuff here. So since I'm gonna do this again, we got some half automation, so I'm gonna pick this one and let's batch delete all groups. Shape keys, no, we don't have anything there. Might have some materials, no materials here, so going to join, Control J. This is also something that I'll need to BPI, yeah, so we need to now you suddenly want to work. Okay, we got this one, just paste it there. Already know which is the join operator for later. Then we joined. Now I forgot to delete. Yeah, there are two meshes here now. Actually, this is not the correct one. This. So I know this mesh was shrinked, so I don't want it. This is the old one. Looks like my selection is including the eyelashes, and so something went wrong with the I don't need materials. Something went wrong with the vertex group, I think. Separator. No, nothing went wrong, so okay, we're gonna do this again. Okay, now this seems correct. This has gotten refreshed. We need to take off the lips, but we're gonna maintain the with the mouth surroundings, which is not called lips. Right, delete that. Clear. I would like an automator to clear the materials. That shape keys. Here you can use delete all shape keys. Yes, and that's it. We need a cleaner for this. That should be after the join. Clean all that. That would be great. And so here we okay, nothing else to do here, so we can already test the updated. Now the whatever is in this bone also moves the this seems to not be that good idea. Those waves must be subtle. Yeah, so have otherwise, because on the real face it helps moving, right? The mesh, the lips, right? but on the other one it can pose some on the oh yeah, also I need to close this mesh. So this is, I'm not sure how this will be automated, but we can. Okay, this is good for now. I see some artifacts growing there near the chin. There's a new setup tutorial that I've got it. I want to test it. It's in geometry nodes. The tutorial seems very clear, but it's like a speed run or speed workflow, so it can be difficult. Let's get here like the lips is the mouth geometry, this one. A recent tutorial, so I would like to by this guy Edward Urena. Apparently this guy has a lot of very interesting content. Yeah, this is super cool with geometry news. I think he got the idea from Demeter Zajic, who also made a geometry nodes cartoonist setup. But you see, there's no volume on the lips, so I'm curious if I can solve this with my anatomic shape key. I believe it is very possible. I think it will be feasible. Where that might not work would be in the case of some booleans, but this is not a boolean stuff, I guess. So this is a different approach. So this is like probably UV stuff. I'm not sure. So it should be fairly okay to reproduce it because it seems to be well documented. Although, as I explained, no explanation, just the presentation, right? So so it's not very didactic, but it can be very, very good to reproduce, right? And so see, this is probably the face that works at, well, it's being shrink wrapped in some way, I guess, but in Zajic it would be some sort of UV transfer. I think it would be way more complicated. This one seems rather simpler, and my idea for lips with geometry nodes would be with booleans with grease pencil, now that grease pencil works in geometry nodes. But I was struggling with the basic boolean system in geometry nodes. I'll need to revise it. It has potential, but yeah, everything needs to be tested out to make sure it will work. So I believe if we make an anatomic lips, we can get the protrusion of the volume lips on this, because these mesh are just being modified or geometrized. They are not being generated like by boolean cuts or stuff like that. So I think this is safe, but I wouldn't know without testing directly. Maybe there, and this could turn out to be much better than the universonic melt rig, except that I know that the universonic melt is exportable, provide we, at least in the sense of if we convert the shrink wrap bond modifiers to shrink wrap bond constraints. That I have done, it works. Alright, so yeah, this double chin there is horrible. So I'll have to understand all this. everything that is happening here in order to... Maybe it's just the wave paint, right? Let's check here. Let's see. Yeah, I need to isolate. Edit mode. Let's isolate the mesh. Lower face region here. Let's reset. Yeah, so some waves here could be very bad, so gonna try to I'm not sure if that will solve the whole issue, but okay, time to fix these ones, right? Some things are rather simple, but if we keep trying to do everything at the same time, it's like I do, not good, right? So I need to be very focused, right, on doing things step by step, right? It's no matter it's complicated, but when I like the idea of trying to decomplicate stuff whenever possible, but sometimes need to make many takes until knowing exactly what is better, what is more likely to be simplified, right? Okay, so this seems to be good, and here we need to yeah, so I'm taking waves from this so you see a major reduction on all these waves. There's a certain range here, maybe it's going a bit too much, And so here also try to avoid this. This seems to be an exaggeration of waves. Alright, let's reassess these ones. Yeah, this is cool. So this one could have more influence here actually. So I have a more better structure here around. Well, maybe not so much for the chin, or maybe, yeah, okay, let's do this, and yeah. So yeah, I've decided that I want this do we include this, maybe even a little more. Yeah, so it has some sort of polling on the, not that we're gonna use this too much, but there's some logic in that. Maybe even here. Looks nice. And here a little here as well. Yeah, so you have this structure that can do this, and that's nice. Now let's do again the trick there. Delete everything, delete, batch delete all vertex groups. Then we're gonna bring our stuff here. Ghost mesh automator, it's not complete, it just do some part of the job. Then we join, then we then this is happening because we need to include yeah, there's some I hope I didn't do anything. Alright, so what now? Oh, I've deleted the, okay, so this is super dangerous. I should have a backup by this time here. Okay, so it's still happening. So what's with this? Oh, it is. I see what's happening. So this is not working. I've made a mistake in the vertex group, I guess. Oh yes, the mesh is hidden. Make sure the mesh is not hidden on the for the original face mesh object. So it's not the vertex group that was incorrect, it's just that we got. Alright, have to be careful. I probably can create an automator that will unhide all. Yeah, we can make that. Ops operator. Alright, then we get this, then we get this, then we can delete the lip. So it was nothing problematic. It was, well, yes, that it was problematic because I ended up screwing up the original mesh object. But the artifacts were because of something else. Delete all shape keys. And here we go. And then we need to add a need to fix this. And finally, okay, that was refreshed just because we've remade some waves. This will still be a problem to reduce the waves of this bone, right? Yeah, that will have double service. Let's hide this here. Let's see what we have here. Okay, it looks like we are starting to yeah, this can help, but it's dangerous. The artifact is still there. Yeah, so this is the cool thing about having the shrink wrap not affecting, having some threshold of smoothness in around the mouth hole, around the lips. With more geometry can do better. So this one can probably do just for this bone here. These waves are ridiculously strong. We're just gonna smooth out this in a yeah, just something like that should help. And I think I remember it being something like that from the original universal sonic mouth setup. So here is just, I will try to transfer only these waves to the Now let's smooth this instead. Alright, I don't have masking here, so this is a bit dangerous. Here we can smooth this also. And here as well, just this, and that's it. So this is called the, yeah, very easy. Def mount surroundings. Okay, def 1 mount surroundings. So gonna transfer this to the ghost muzzle. So it's, there are many ways to do this. I'm gonna do this in the wave pane mode of this. So gonna just waves transfer waves, nearest vertex. Okay, it can be that in this case, but we're gonna go to the just this one by name. Yeah. So I believe that should be the case. No, it didn't transfer. It didn't override, so never mind. Didn't work. I don't know what I missed. Okay, let's do it again. So this time we got the selected here and transfer waves. Let's try nearest face interpolate, then active layer and replace and replace, yeah, so I just can't do that, so it doesn't seem to do anything unless in the original I've messed up the wave paint of that. No, it is just like that. So yeah, alright, so this will require refreshment. Folks, here I'm tired already of this. This is good that started to make this script idea for these automations, but I need a bit more study to finish this off. I'll bring that tomorrow, I hope. And here we are almost, well, not almost, but we're getting the basics right working. I need to add the bones already exist, the helper lips bones that will substitute plenty of shape keys. I think that method is good for me, is what I like this approach. And we'll be continuing developing this stuff. So thanks for watching, folks. Take care and happy blendings here along the week. I'll be doing a lot of this streaming every day. So yeah, folks, hope you could find something interesting here